Hi everyone, welcome back to Payday 1. Today we're doing another breakdown the deck, and this time it's going to be one of my favorite girls. If you watch me play on Payday 1, you probably seen me play Morska. So, do you like Morska?
I do like Morska. Yeah.
This is the Dalken Fish Detective. It's a banned deck, and this is from the Murder at Karloff Manor precon, Deep Blue Sea. One of my first deck that I bought, and I actually talked to one of the other guys from Payday 1, Andres, about this set, because he played another precon. And it just looked fun, and I looked through the precons, and I just thought that this could be fun. This is a detective deck, this is a clue deck, it's also a +1 counter deck, because when you draw a second card each turn, which you can do with clues, you put counters on Morska.
2+1 counters. Yeah.
2+1 counters Morska. Yeah, so it's kind of cheap because 1 green, 1 white, 1 blue. It's a 2/3, and that's not that powerful. But
drawing cards can be
if you play it the right way, if you can add some stuff, if you can like boost Morska's ability.
Yeah.
It will kind of quickly grow stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
So this is Morska.
As someone who has actually also purchased this precon, but I used alternative commander Sophia. Straight out the box, this scene was disgusting. It kept Morska grows so big so fast.
Yes,
and it's not at your disadvantage. You're drawing cards to do it.
Yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
I spec this deck a little bit to be a little bit more detective and a little bit more card draw. Just not only investigate clue, but just some other stuff, just to really get your engine going, and just to boost her up and become stronger and stronger and stronger.
And of course, a famous thing you like to do is make creatures unblockable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's Morska? Probably the best target.
Yes.
Yeah,
everyone know how to make creatures unblockable. Rogue's Passage is like one way, and we will look at some other ways to make creatures unblockable with this deck.
Shall we delve right into it?
Yes, let's have a look.
Yeah, let's take a look.
So let's have a look at my Morska deck. This is Morska, the Undersea Sleuth. It's a banned deck, green, white, blue. It costs 3, it's a 2/3. What I like, instantly you have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate, create a clue. You artifact with 2, sacrifice this to draw a card. And since you are potentially getting a big hand size early on, it's really nice to start off with a maximum hand size. And her second ability is whenever you draw a second card each turn, +2, put 2 +1/1 counters on Morska. So this is a commander that wants to draw cards. Let's see if we can do it. Let's start off with the Planeswalkers. So this is Tamio, Field Researcher, 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, 1 blue, and here you have, you can choose up to 2 targets. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. So they have a card draw, -2, tap to target, they don't untap during their control's next untap step. Always a good way to leave your opponent vulnerable. And for -7, draw 3 cards, you get the emblem which you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying the mana cost. Usually when you're facing an opponent, or when you're playing an opponent, you usually attack it quite early, quite strong, so they usually don't get the emblem. But I still like this, you have ability to tap down targets or draw a card. We have one more, it's Tesseract, Betrayer of Flesh, or Betrayer of Fish, who knows. 2 colorless, 2 blue. This is really strong for an artifact token deck. The first activated ability of an artifact you activate each turn costs 2 less to activate. Which means if you have your clue, you don't have to pay for them. Again, draw a card. 2 cards, discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact. Target artifact become artifact creature, and the emblem is whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped, draw a card. So just more draw cards. Let's have a look at the creatures. So this is Detective of the Month. Ascend, if you have 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. What happens then? Detectives you control can't be blocked. So this is creatures that make other creatures unblocked. And whenever you draw a second card each turn, you create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token, which also becomes unblockable because it's a detective. We have another detective. This is a weird detective, flying vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. And as with my Planeswalker, discard 2 cards. Unless you discard an instant, sorcery, or creature card with flying. Again, just draw them cards. Nick Valentine. This is from Fallout. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Can't be blocked except by artifact creatures. And when Nick Valentine artifact control creature dies, you may investigate. So this is also a good way to get clues. This might be better suited for like a pure artifact deck. But I still like it. It's still a detective. And I like playing Fallout stuff. This is one of the newer cards. Kellan. 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. I can investigate. I can play another land for the sorcery. And it's the creature itself has flying, vigilance. When he attacks, destroy up to 1 target artifact. If you control that permanent, draw a card. So you can target your own stuff, you like clues, treasure, whatever, to draw cards. Or you can just get rid of stuff. And what's good with this one is it when he attacks, he doesn't need to do damage just when he attacks, just when you're going to attack. Let's have another Fallout card. 1 colorless, 1 blue. This is Piper Wright. When she deals combat damage to a player, investigate that many times. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1/1 counter on target creature you control. So this is again a way to be able to draw cards. And let's go to Fallout. No, from Fallout to Doctor Who. This is of course Sally Sparrow from Doctor Who. One of the best episodes. If you see the card, you know what you have in the back. It's a Weeping Angel. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Always good. And again, let's get an investigation on. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control leave the battlefield, investigate. Let's have another detective. This is just a Morska, Vedalken. Please do correct me if I say it wrong. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. Activators abilities of artifact you control cost 1 less. So this is also a good way to sacrifice clues cheaper. And here we have Esrim, Agent's Chief, 1 colorless, 2 white, 2 blue. Flying. When he enters, investigate twice. And also what's really strong is I can sacrifice an artifact and Esrim gets vigilance, lifelink or hexproof until the end of the turn. So this is a really good way to have a strong flying blocker since that's vigilance, or to give him lifelink. And here we have like one of the cutest cards in my deck, I would say. This is the Loxodon Eavesdropper, another detective. And when he enters, I will investigate. And whenever you draw a second card each turn, he gets +1/1 and vigilance until end of turn. That's a good bonus. It's just a good way to investigate. And this is a card I got from Anders actually. Private Eye. As you can see, it's the big eye. 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue. Other detectives you control get +1/+1. And whenever you draw a second card, each turn target detective can't be blocked this turn. So this is also like a good way if I don't have the City's Blessing or the Detective of the Month out, I can just find a way to make detectives unblockable. So that's my detectives. So let's look what more we have. War of the Hullclade. 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. The only thing this creature is important for, to get rid of his power, his toughness, this is 1 green, 1 blue, tap it. Double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact creature on land. Play this with Morska. It's so strong, it's so strong. You can go from like 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8, 16. You can pump Morska up really quick, really strong with this one. And since Morska is a detective, you can make him blockable. You can one-shot someone just with Morska really quickly. This, I would say, is the absolute best card if you're playing a deck that creates clues, foods or treasures. Because if you have this one, as you make one, you make them all. And this is a really good way just to make your deck stronger. Clues, card draw, always good. Food, life gain, always good. Treasures. You know when you're missing out of just that mana. And there is another reason I'm playing this card. So let's look at it a little bit later on. Triangle Gold Kelp. It's a little bit expensive, costs 5 colorless, 2 blue. It has Ward 2, but what this little girl does, it makes clues to 6/6 creatures in addition to other type until the end of turn. You can also sack it for 2 to draw a card, but let's say if you have like lots of clues out, you have the kelp, all your clues, boom. Alex Nev Twin Coasters, 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, Ward 2. And what this does, if one more token would be created on your control, twice as many of those tokens are created. It's good with clues, it's good with all kind of tokens. Alandra, Skydreamer. 2 colorless, 2 blue, and whenever you draw a second card, you will create a 2 blue great creature with flying. And if you draw a 5th card each turn, tricky, but you can do it. Skydreamer and Drake you control get XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. And since you're playing Morska with no maximum hand state from the go, that can be really strong. But I like this that you can just pump up Drakes with flying. The Hydroid Crazies, X, green, blue. And whenever you cast a spell, you gain half X life and draw half X card. So if you have lots of mana, you can just draw stuff and get life. Flying Trample. And also X is how strong it will be. It enters with X1 counter. So this is a good card to get in a game a bit later when you have lots of mana, but maybe low on your hand size, maybe low on your life. You can boom, get stuff going. Toski, Bear of Chikras. 3 colorless, 1 green. It's a 1/1 squirrel. This spell can't be countered. That's good. Indestructible. That's good. Attacks each combat if able. That's good. But what this does, when this ever a creature you control this combat damage to a player, draw a card. And since it can't be countered, it's indestructible. It's a good way to sneak in that 1 damage. Let's get a spirit out. Adval Illuminator, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Flies, but also whenever you investigate for the first time each turn, you investigate an additional time. Works really great with Morska. John Pointer. 5 colors, 2 blue. Affinity tokens, so you can get it down to use 2 blue if you have your clues out, your artifacts out. And what I really like with this one is whenever a token enters the battlefield on your control, tap target non-land permanent on opponent controls. It doesn't tap during its next untap step. And since you're with Morska out, or like any investigation, any clue going on, you get that token. This is the Adroit Wizard. Nothing special really. 2 colors, 1 blue. But whenever you draw your second card each turn, you put a 1/1 count on these creatures. So this is something you want to get out quite early in the game. You're able to get on counters on. And Burning Brax. 3 colorless, 1 white. Convoke. So that's good. But also, if you created a token this turn, you will draw a card in end step. Morska always create token. So lots of these cards, they're like you saw some detectives, and then just a lot of other stuff. But everything helps because it's like artifact going on, it's investigation going on, it's investigation again going on. This is James Wandering Dad from Fallout, 2 colors, 1 blue. The instances you can activate X times, so it's X and 2 blues, you can just get lots of clues on. And also you can tap in to get the 2 colorless and spend this mana only to activate abilities. And if you're playing this deck with clues, and you saw I had like the Academy Manufacturer, you have activate abilities on clues, for example. And everyone's loved an Elite Kraken. 1 colorless, 2 blue. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. And then you create a 1/1 counter and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So again we have a token and just a good way to get defense on. This is Rosie Cotton of the South Lane from Lord of the Rings. 2 colors, 1 white. And whenever she enters the battlefield, you create a token, food token, and with Academy Manufacturer that just becomes stronger. And whenever you create a token, you put a 1/1 counter target creature other than Rosie. So she is really cheap creature used to help your deck with counters and tokens. And let's go for some more artifact stuff. This is the Wall Rogue. This is seen in many decks. 2 colorless, 2 blue. It enters with 2 topters. Tap to untap artifact you control, and target creature can't be blocked. And since she creates tokens, that's artifacts, this is like half investigate, half artifact deck. This is really good to make your creatures unblockable. And again, if you have pumped up Morska with the +1/1 counters, you can one-shot an opponent. Another spirit, another investigate. So this is 3 colorless, 1 blue, and when it enters the battlefield, you investigate X, where X is the number of opponents you have. And whenever you draw a second card each turn, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. So this is all you want to get when you have all the plays in play to get the maximum effect of the investigate X. Kappa, another artifact creature, 5 colorless, 1 blue, and it says improvise, which means you can tap artifacts to make it cheaper. 1/4, and whenever artifact enter the battlefield in your control, plus a 1/1 counter on Kappa, and it can't be blocked this turn. This is also really a good card for this deck because you have so much artifact going on, and whenever it enters, it becomes unblockable. Tireless Tracker. I do love landfall. I have a landfall deck. This is the landfall where another land enters under your control. Investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, plus a 1/1 counter on him. But this is mostly because get him out, get the lands out, get your investigate on. Coma. 3 colorless, 2 green, 2 blue. You know Coma. Can't be countered. You create a coil. You can tap stuff or make things indestructible. This is a mean card because you get the coil at the beginning of each upkeep. And if you have lots of coil, you can just make stuff indestructible or just destroy people's ability to activate abilities. S6, Fractal Boom, 4 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. Flies. Whenever you create one of your tokens during each of your turn, instead you can make a copy of a creature. So it's just a way to turn your tokens into creatures and make it stronger. And with the Ancestor, 2 colorless, 1 white. You can put a 1/1 counter on it for Outlast. What she does for this deck is amazing. Modify creature have control of lifelink. Pump Morska up, counters, make Morska unblockable, hit her lifelink. And the last creature in my deck is the Graph Mole. It's a mole beast. 2 colorless, 1 green. When you sacrifice a clue, you gain 3 life. Just an easy way to gain life. So let's look what we have. Artifacts. Tamiyo again. This is 5 colorless. At the beginning of upkeep, investigate. So just putting on that investigate engine. I can sacrifice 3 clues and I can search my library for a card. I put the card in your hand. And here you want to go maybe with Academy Manufacturer. Maybe you want to go to War of the Hulkblade. Maybe you want to go with the Envoy of the Ancestors just to help your deck. Idol of Oblivion. Draw a card. Only if activated. Activate only if you created a token this turn. You do with Morska. And you can sack it to create a 10/10 creature token. But this is just draw cards. Signet, get that mana. Inspiring Statuary. Non-artifact spell you have improvise, so I can just tap artifacts to make things cheaper. Tamer's Logbook. It costs, I can draw a card. It's 5 and 1 blue, but it costs 1 less to activate for each artifact I control. So usually you can just pay 1 blue for this one. More mana, more mana, more mana, more mana, more mana. And the Sapphire Medallion to make blue spells cost 1 colorless less. And Enchantments. Well, you gotta protect your deck, right? Propaganda. So people have to pay for attack you. Omniuses, whenever you draw a card, you put a counter on it. And when you have 8 or more, you can sack it. Or remove 8, and then you will create a 8 blue creature token. This is a really good card for a deck where you draw more than 1 card. at every time. Usually with this deck, you draw 2 cards every turn. Smartering Tide, use more protection, get treasures with Academy Manufacturer, really good. On the trail, when you draw your second card, you may put a land from your hand tapped, really good to get that lands out. And as I said, I do like the landfalls. This is a retreat to Coralham. I can choose to tap and tap target creature or scry one. This is a killer card for Morska. This is the almost perfect enchantment aura. Enchanted creature has a base power and toughness of 9-10 and is indestructible. That's the base, and then you add a counter to Morska. And then you have Teferis Aegis Insight. If you draw a card, except the first one you draw, in each draw step you draw 2 cards. You draw cards with this deck. Coastal's Piracy. Whenever creature you control this combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. And since I have way to make my creatures unblockable, I will draw a card. Here we go. Wincon is always good. So this is the mechanized production, 2 colors, 2 blue. Enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a tokenized copy of the enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one enchanted, you win the game. And since I can do clues at instant speed, this really helps my deck. As does Storm of Saruman, another Lord of the Rings card. 4 colors, 2 blue, War 3. Whenever you cast a second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for the copy, just a way to help out my deck and make it stronger and quicker. Instance. Best Respite. Shuffle Graveyard into the library. Prevent all combat damage. So this is good because you both get rid of Graveyard for Graveyard players. I know, because I am a Graveyard player myself. Always good to get rid of the stuff and prevent combat damage. Disorder in the card. Exile X creatures. Then investigate X types. And the exiled cards get back tapped under owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So it's a good way to get rid of stuff, or just so if you're facing some other one who plays a lot of counter, just get rid of them and open up for an attack. An Archer Investigate. Sword of Plowshares, always good to get rid of stuff. A Fist's Interrogation. Again, this is an Investigate. Gift of the Viper. Plus a 1/1 counter, reach counter, death touch counter on target creature. Always good to get that reach and death touch in. Confront the Unknown. 1 green. Just another Investigate. And also you get a 1/1 until end for each clue you control. This is a good way to make deck strong and draw a card. Sorceries. This works great with Smothering Tide. This is the Winterfall for 2 colorless, 1 blue. Each player discard his or her hand, and draw a card equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. With Morska, it's very easy to just draw cards, play cards, just really quickly have a just like 2, 1, 0 cards in your hand, and when that happens, get rid of stuff, get a new hand. Fumigate, board wipe, destroyed creatures to gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. And another one. Farewell, choose 1 or more, exile all artifact, all creature, all enchantment, all graveyards. It's a good way to get rid of the board. And what I really like with this card is you can choose which one or any. So if you're facing like a lot of stuff going on, but you have artifacts, artifact creatures, and your opponent doesn't, you can just not exile all artifacts. So I like to have options with this one. And let's go for lands. This is something I got from Dustmon just recently. This is the Flood One Verge. You can tap it for white, or you can tap it also for blue, but activate only if you control a plane or an island. It's just a good way to get mana in. Canopy Vista, and just tap, unless you control 2 more basic lands. Green and white, green and white. Again, a card, Glacier Fortress, and just tap, unless you control plane or island. Exotic Orchard, you can just steal mana from your opponents. This is a good card I play in almost all my decks. This is Temple of the False card that gives you 2 mana, but activate only if you control 5 or more lands, and you should be able to do it early on. Seaside Citadel, which had all of Morska's colors, and is tapped. Great Tale of the Citadel. Colorless. pay 1 tap it to add 2 combination only to cast legendary spells. This is really good when you get locked on mana and you don't have the 3rd color. This is something I've been starting to putting into my deck. The Thriving cards. This is a Thriving Grove. It's tapped. And you can add green and 1 mana of the chosen color. So for decks that has more than 1 color, this is really good. Because you can be sitting with green forest, the white plains, but you don't have the island. With this one you can get the island. Selesnya Sanctuary. It's tapped, bumps the land back, but it gives you 2 mana. And yeah, just a lot of cards that gives you extra mana. Path of Answer is good, because it when you cast a creature type that has the creature type, which commander, destroy 1, Rogue's Passage. You need it to make stuff unblockable. And again, just cards to get that double mana. Let's go through them real quick. Have another Thriving one. This is Thriving Isle. It gives you blue mana and mana of the chosen color. Feel a throw-in for that color's mana, but also you can destroy target on basic land. It's kind of evil, but sometimes you're facing people who has a land card that will help them win the game. Command Tower. And again, just a lot of lands with double mana. And the basic lands. Island, forest, and plains. So yeah, that's my deck. It's basically built around card draw and making things unblockable. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of my deck. If you have suggestions, if you have ideas, if you have other ways to play Morska and build Morska, please let me know. And you can find all of this on Moxfield. Thank you for watching. That was Morska with her friends, her detectives, and just some other sneaky thing running around.
Yeah, that was insane. I always like shiver a little bit when I'm going against Morska, because you just always have answers in your hand, and as someone who loves +1 counters, you know, Mothman, it makes me a bit jealous. Bant is really good colors for what your deck wants to do.
I would agree. This deck works well. It's, as you said, it's strong out of the precon, but there's always way to make your precon a little bit stronger, a little bit more fun, a little bit more suited for your gameplay. So
a little bit more ska.
A little bit more ska, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that was Morska. That was my Deep Blue Sea upgraded precon. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. See you on the next one.